would like to welcome everyone to tonight's basketball game featuring the Mohawk Mountaineers and your Humber Hawks. Tonight will feature the partnership between Humber Athletics and Humber's LGBTQ+ Resource Center. I now would like to introduce some key people who will play a part in tonight's ceremony. Jen McMillan, Dean of Students, Student Success and Engagement. Ray Chateau, Athletic Director. Michael Kobener, Associate Athletic Director. Natalie Alicia, Student Diversity and Inclusion Initiatives Coordinator. Students of the LGBTQ+ Resource Center, Brandon March and Kenny Dawkins. Brianna Donaldson, of the women's softball team. And the captains of your Humber Hawks, Gibson Edible and Tyrone Dixon. I would now like to call upon Jen McMillan, Dean of Students, Student Success and Engagement, to say a few words.
Ashamed, worried, sad, angry, defeated, scared. Those are all the things I remember feeling when I experienced my first hate crime. I wasn't yet 23 years old, around the same age as many of these players here tonight, and had my first full-time job on a university campus in Ontario. I was also in my first real relationship with a woman, and we were committed to being out. We were going to make a difference. In our idealistic way, I think we thought it might be simple, maybe even accelerated. Then came our first wake-up call. First, I received an email describing acts of violence against me. Next, our home was targeted by vandals. Finally, hateful and violent graffiti was scrawled at my workplace. I share this only to answer the question that I imagine some folks might have, which is, why are we doing this? Over 20 years of my career working on college and university campuses, I've had the opportunity to speak with thousands of students on issues of leadership and diversity. Sometimes I tell that story, and I'll be honest with you that over the last 10 years I've wondered whether it was even needed anymore. So much has changed, and so many young people were shocked by what I was describing to them. However, recent events in our world remind me, sadly, that we do need to keep telling our stories, the bad and the good. At that time in my life, the Ontario government was actively fighting to prevent the legalization of same-sex marriage. I never knew if that would be an option for me. Today, I'm married and one of two moms to three beautiful little boys. Oliver is 5 years old, and our twins, Liam and Zachary, are 2.5. So now you know why I look so tired. These three little boys have been known to run around our house proudly chanting, I have two moms. I have two moms. For them it is simple. They know that they are loved, and they know that they are protected. Inclusion is the revolution. What I realized from those early experiences with hate is that its true power lies in the fact that it makes people give up. It makes people stop trying to make a difference, and we refuse to give in to that. At Humber, we celebrate who our students are every day and consider our diversity to be one of our greatest strengths. When this world gets complicated and seems to struggle with simple concepts of acceptance, I look to our students. I look at these young leaders today who said, yes, give me that warm-up shirt, I'll wear it. Who said, yes, put me in that video, I'd be happy to. And that's why I have great hope for our future. But for their sake and for the sake of my children, I will keep telling my story, and I will keep participating in events like this too. I hope that you will as well. I would like to thank the Mohawk Mountaineers for agreeing to be part of this event and showing their support tonight. These athletes here tonight, and the ones like them all over this country, should be measured based on their talent, their tenacity, and their sportsmanship, not their orientation or identity.
excited.
As part of our commitment at Humber, we will be hanging a banner permanently in this facility, and I would like to invite our students, our captains, Ray, Mike, and Natalie to join me in unveiling this banner.
Singing tonight's national anthem, first-year cosmetic management student, Sydney Ryan. May you all please stand and remove your hats.
Because they are out there doing the same thing.
Because last time,
they challenged me.
Pushed me harder than I thought possible.
I don't know anything about them.
I don't know their background.
I don't know who they love.
Like or date. I don't know what God they believe in.
Or what letter they have
on their ID.
But what I do know is
they were good.
They were good.
That's why I'm here.
That's why I'm here.
I am here.
I am here. I am here.
I am here.
That's why I'm here.
That's why I'm here. I'm here to play.
We are hashtag here to play. We are hashtag here to play, and we are live from the. We are hashtag here to play, and we are live at the Hawks Nest. OCAA men's basketball. We had the women's teams earlier, but now we have the men's, the Hawks versus the Mohawk Mountaineers. A great marquee matchup between these two teams. Josh Rawlings with Stephen Boyles. Got a great matchup between the Hawks and the Mountaineers. Who should we be looking for?
Well, it depends on who you're talking about, but I really think that on the Mountaineer side, you're going to want to look at guys like Lamar Barr and Matt Elcock. Those guys carry the offense, and they're excellent on the defensive side of the ball, too. For the Hawks, I think they have a whole bunch of different guys you want to pay attention to. Gibson, Ediful, Tyron Dixon, Ansel Martin, C.J. Bennett, you name it. They have a lot of depth and a lot of moving parts.
That Ansel Martin, he's so hot right now.
He is so hot right now. That's my material.
We got some great matchups between the two. Now, keeping in mind the standings, Humber sitting at third, Fanshawe sitting at fourth. Humber with a 6-2 record, and Fanshawe with a 5-4. They're not that far behind, so this is a marquee matchup between Humber and Mohawk. Sorry, Mohawk is fifth. Mohawk not far behind, so it's going to be difficult for these teams going forward. Is this a matchup where Mohawk should be more precautious or Humber should be more precautious?
Well, I think it's two different game plans facing off here. I mean, it's obvious when you look down the player sheet, the roster, that Mohawk has the size advantage. But when you look at the Hawks, they probably have speed and maybe a little bit more balance. It's that small ball that a lot of teams are going with these days. So it's really going to boil down to who comes out with the better effort and the better execution on what their game plan is.
Making sure the execution is tight. Patrick Au is hoping that the Hawks will be able to pull out a win, and on the other end, Brian Jonker is going to want to make sure that the Mountaineers are going to play strong and follow through. And we got to mention, we have mentioned his name already, one of the best names in men's basketball, Lamar Barr. Fantastic name.
And what a great name. And an even better player. He's averaging 14.6 points a game, and he's doing it with efficient shooting. And if he can keep that trend going, that's going to spell trouble for the Hawks.
Tip-off coming in a few minutes, but before that, we got starting lineups. Keep it tuned to BRTV. Now, Stephen, going forward, we got some notes here to keep in mind for you viewers at home. Defensively, Humber has held their opponents to an OCAA low 61.7 points per game. That's definitely due to the defense of Tyrone Dixon. As well, the Hawks own a 10.4 rebound margin against their opponents, the best in the province. Humber's 5-game winning streak is the 4th longest streak by a first-year head coach in program history, which is interesting because Patrick Ah's been around for a while. He's doing pretty well. So what does this mean for Humber? What do they have to do?
Well, I think it means that they just got to mind their P's and Q's and stick to what they've been doing all season long. 67.1 points per game is by no means an explosive a number to give up. It's very low, and I think that if they can hold Mohawk to that tonight, they really give themselves a great opportunity to have success.
Great keys. We're going to keep in mind the starting lineups coming up now.
Wearing number 3, a 6-1 guard, coming out of there, Matt Elkhart. Wearing number 12, a 6-foot guard, from Hamilton, Mohawk. Wearing number 14, a 6'4" guard, from Hamilton, Mohawk. Wearing number 22, a 6'5" forward, from Humber, Jesse Carr. Wearing number 32, a 6-foot guard, from Hamilton, Mohawk. Your head coach is Brian Johnson. And now, the starting lineup for your Humber Hawks. Wearing number 3, a 5'11" guard from Brampton, Houston, Edinburgh. Wearing number 8, a 6'3" forward from Brampton, C.J. Bennett. Wearing number 9, a 6'4" forward from Toronto, Malshot Judge. Wearing number 10, a 6'6" forward from Scarborough, Tyrone Dixon.
Starting lineups for both teams, and keeping both in mind. For the Hawks, Ediful, Bennett, Judge, Dixon, and Martin. And for the Mohawk Mountaineers, Elcock, Collins, Gaffer, Broad, and Lamar Barr.
That's tough, you know, the Hawks and the Mohawks. I mean,
it's going to get a little confusing, but as long as we say Mountaineers and Hawks, we're going to be good. Tip-off coming in a few seconds. And the Mountaineers win the tip. Elcock wanted to pull up for the J, chose not to. Collins handling the ball. Screen coming for the Mountaineers. Physical play already within the first, not even minute of the game. Foul is going to be charged to C.J. Bennett.
C.J. Bennett not giving any space there. He steps up and takes the shoulder almost to the face. He's lucky, but looks like the play is going to go on.
Inbounds coming here for the Mohawks. Mohawk Mountaineers. So
the Mountaineers.
There we go. Elcock inbounds the ball. Oh, stripped by Bennett against Collins. Nothing going. Layup coming. Strong drive by Kareem Collins as Ediful handles the ball. Gibson Ediful had a pretty good season for himself so far, averaging 7.1 points per game. Judge swings it to Bennett. Bennett back out for Trey. Foul's going to be called, and it's going to be an offensive foul. Hawks are headed back to play some defense.
Speaking of Ediful, he really is the quarterback of this offense. He runs a tight ship, and he distributes where he sees. Very smart player. The Mountaineers are going to have to be conscious of him every time he's on the floor.
Kareem Collins handling the ball. Swings it out to Elcock. Dishes it back to Collins. Collins with the drive. Chooses not to go anywhere. Elcock fumbles it. Wanted to pull up for Trey from out of nowhere. Does it anyways. And is going to get the Rasheed Wallace bounce out of bounds and back into the hands of Gibson Ediful. Dixon to Bennett. Bennett with the drive. Bad pass there. Collins is going to run straight into Judge, and that's going to be a foul charge to Mike Judge. Sorry. It's going to be a foul charge to ball Judge. I was thinking of Mike Judge. There's someone who's named Mike Judge I was thinking of.
I think that's the guy who wrote a couple sitcoms, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah, he's the writer of Silicon Valley.
He
That's
is.
exactly who it was in my mind. Inbound there for the Mountaineers. Collins handling it. Taking it to the rack is Collins. Taking it strong, but Dixon shuts him down. Gibson Ediful with the handle. Over to Bennett. Judge handling it. Back to Bennett. Easy back and forth, and the nice scoop layup there from C.J. Bennett. 2-2 score with 8:21 left in the first quarter. The back and forth, quick possession from Ediful leads to the non-Humber point, and Alcock pulling for Trey, and he succeeds.
Absolutely wide open there. Nobody around him, and he nails the open shot. You got to hit those every time you're given the chance.
Ediful handles the ball, swings it. Judge back to Ediful. Dishes it back to Judge, who's open for Trey. He's going to pull it. No good. Rebound there by Broad. And it looks like Kareem Collins going to pass that one out of bounds, but it's going to remain their possession as it went off a Humber defender.
And that is a fast break offense. You see the second that Broad gathers up that rebound, he's pushing the ball the other way, and they're making moves down the court. They're really bringing it to the Hawks right now.
Screen coming there. No good. Getting it back to Broad, though. Oh, the interior pass to Collins, and the layup's good. 7-2's the score. Hawks are down 5. Over to Bennett. In the corner. Back to Ediful. Ediful with the pull-up. Just out front rim. Dixon grabs the board, though. The extra hustle. No good. But the extra hustle is going to lead Tyrone Dixon to head to the lane.
Dixon is just so strong there. They say that he's one of the best in the country, and you can see the added strength down there. He's not going to be denied by anyone.
Tyrone Dixon averages about 5.1 offensive rebounds per game. Hard to contain. Hits the first one. Dixon's a 72.2% free throw shooter. That's a good stroke right there.
And that kind of free throw percentage is really a lot of production to get out of somebody that normally goes down and does your banging and bruising. It really makes Dixon that much more of a threat on the floor.
Hits the second one. Inbounded to Barr. Lamar Barr. Barr handling it. Tipped out by Dixon. Good heads-up defensive play there as it's 4-7 for the Mohawk Mountaineers. It's 7:13 left. Handled there by the Mountaineers. Back to Lamar Barr. Barr with the turnaround, going nowhere, and he's going to travel. Stuck out a foot when he did not have one to give away.
Just lost the pivot there, and you know what? It's those types of turnovers that really do kill you. It takes away a lot of the momentum, deflates your team. You can't do that, especially early in the game like this. I'm sure that he'll fix that up as we move on.
In the corner pass. Ediful handling it over to Judge. To Bennett. He's going to go up and under with that athletic frame, and he gets it in. 6-7 score.
CJ Bennett has just looked so versatile the last few weeks. He's hitting shots from everywhere. He just moved inside. He's a real presence on the defensive side of the ball. You really got to pay attention to him.
After the Collins miss, Jay Ediful pushes the envelope for the Humber Hawks. Passes it to Martin. Over to Bennett. Wanted to pull for Trey, chose not to. Back to Ediful. Back into Dixon, using that big body. Grabs his own board. Grabs his own board again. Grabs his own board again. Again, the hustle from Tyrone Dixon finally gets the call after not one, not two, but three offensive rebounds for Tyrone Dixon. And that makes it 4 alone in the first quarter.
Just putting on a clinic down there by the looks of it, fighting everybody off.
Tyrone Dixon moving his 6'6" frame around down in the paint. As Ediful inbounds the ball. Gets it over to Ansel Martin. To Judge. Back to Martin. He's going to pull up for the J. Nothing but net.
Like we said earlier, that Ansel,
so
hot right now.
8-7's the score with 5:59 left in the first quarter. Drive there by Collins. No good. Rebound falls out of bounds. Looked like it went off CJ Bennett, but it's going to keep in possession of the Hawks.
I thought maybe Collins could have been going to the line there. He drove really hard and drew a lot of contact, and he could not get a call. That's surprising.
Broad subs out, and Ihrig subs in. Ediful handling the ball. Considered one of the top point guards in the OCAA. Swings it over to Baljaw Judge. CJ Bennett back to Judge. The back and forth there. And the nice, easy scoop layup from Judge. 10-7's the score. 5:35 left in the leading quarter. Lamar Barr with the handle. Over to Elcock. Back to Collins. Screen coming. Oh, but he's going to bring in that shoulder, and he's going to send Tyrone Dixon to the floor. That's going to earn himself a charge.
Tyrone Dixon just showing that extra effort, taking the charge right to the chest. No fear out there.
And look at that scoop there by Judge.
Hey, he sentenced that ball to 2 points.
Timeout's going to be called. It's going to be the first timeout called for the Mohawk Mountaineers. 10-7's the score with 5 minutes left in the first quarter. What are your thoughts going on right now, Stephen?
It's a fast game. Both teams are pushing the limits. It's just great basketball so far. You've seen scoring from different players. You've seen guys on both sides of the ball taking charges. Everybody came here to compete tonight. It looks like it's going to be a real gem.
It will be definitely indeed. The timeout is nearing its end. Timeout ending for the Mountaineers as play resumes here. 5:52 left, 5:22, excuse me, left in the first quarter. Both teams playing well. Only a 3-point lead here for the Hawks as Ansel Martin goes to inbound the ball. Dixon gets the ball off the dish. Swings it inside to CJ Bennett, and CJ Bennett shows off his athleticism yet again.
Just an amazing inside feed there.
Oh, no way! Got Ruffer thought he had an easy one, but Dixon came out of nowhere. Swing over to Ansel. Ansel wanted to dunk it, tried to get the stuff, thought he was fouled, unhappy with the call. Ansel Martin's gonna keep it up as Lamar Barr pushes the envelope. Going up for the layup is Collins, nothing but air. But on the other end, Lamar Barr ducks it in a series of events right there. I ran out of breath a couple of times.
You're out of breath. I think they're out of breath. This game is just back and forth. It went crazy there for a second as they're gonna try to slow it down.
Judge passes it, but Lamar Barr with the steal. Oh, fumbles it, and Ediful somehow fouls him. Ediful not happy with the call, but Barr is going to be headed to the free throw line.
You know, on a play like that, you got a guy like Lamar Barr coming down all alone. You might as well take the foul and force him to the line because he's going to score that easy basket. Not a bad play by Ediful, but an even better play by Lamar Barr getting to the net.
Jordan Rose and Daquan Cathcart are going to be subbing in for the Hawks, and on the other end for the Mountaineers. Looks like a sub's going to be coming in after the free throw. Lamar Barr, an 82.6% free throw shooter, not a bad clip. Averages about 14 a game. Hits the first one, it's 12-10. Good matchup here at the Hawks Nest. And it's good. Rose dishes it over to Martin, to Cathcart. Back to Rose. Back to Cathcart. To Martin in the corner. Rotation lacking a little bit. Over to Judge. Cathcart. Back to Rose. Interior to Dixon. Over to Martin for Trey. Off the rim, no good. Tight D play by the Mountaineers as Barr brings the ball up the court. Barr driving. Dishes it over. Oh, but it's stolen by Dixon, who's been all over the place as Rose pushes the envelope to Cathcart, over to Judge. Back to Rose. Martin wide open for Trey. He's going to try it again. Second time's a charm for Ansel Martin.
And that's twice now on two different series where he's been left wide open. They got lucky the first one where he missed it, but I mean, the Mountaineers are really going to have to tighten up here. You can't leave Ansel Martin there.
Jordan Martin pulling up, hitting it, saying, yeah, there's another Martin on the court, and his name is Jordan. 15-13 the score with 3:22 left in the first, but look out for Ansel Martin, throwing it to Daquan Cathcart for Trey, and that's back-to-back trays for the Humber Hawks.
Amazing kick out by Martin there. He's really getting his teammates involved. That was just a nasty pass.
Achanwa gets it, swings it out of bounds. That was intended for Alcock, went out of bounds, and it's going to be a Hawks possession. Rose with the possession. Jordan Rose, the third year out of Toronto. Judge. Rotation here for the Hawks. Over to Cathcart, over to Judge. Wanted to pull for Trey, chose not to, but who is going to? And that's going to be Jordan Rose. No good. Ansel Martin crashes the boards. Touch is going to go off of him, and it's going to be Humber possession. A substitution occurred earlier as Dixon subbed out and Ojulu subbed in for him.
And Ansel Martin did not look impressed there. It looks like he thought maybe the ball had gone off a Mountaineer, but he didn't get the call. He's going to have to refocus here going back the other way.
Jordan Martin handling the ball up the court. It's played tightly by Rose. Martin with the drive. Dishes it to the interior. Nearly gets blocked from behind from Ojulu. And Irig unable to finish after multiple rebounds. And the nice pass from Ansel Martin to Ball-Jot Judge. Swings it out to Cathcart. Back over to Rose and over back to Martin, who's going to pull it for Trey. They're leaving him open. Give it to him. Not good, though. Ball-Jot Judge with the hustle. Grabs it in. And they're going to slow it down on the Hawks as Jordan Rose swings it to Daquan Cathcart. Back to Rose. Screen from Ojulu. Going nowhere is Rose. Martin over to Cathcart for Trey. Rolls out, but oh, Jordan Rose is fouled and really hugged by Adrian Achanwa.
And that did not look good. I thought it was maybe an elbow to the side of Jordan Rose's head. He goes down hard, but he's up, shrugs it off, and he's ready to go.
And that's true grit right there. Substitution occurs for both teams.
True Grit.
Great movie.
Excellent movie.
Great
I love
movie.
those Coen brothers.
Inbounds by the Hawks. Ojulu to Martin. To Cathcart. Cathcart pulling for Trey. He's 2 for 4 from the three-point line.
Looked like that one might have been from the 705, way deep out there.
Maybe even the 6. Jordan Martin handling the ball, played tightly by Rose. Over there, out there for Ehrig for 3, no good. Rebound there by Mohawk. Wow, what a pass. Over to Aaron
Unbelievable save.
Chenwa. Behind the back save for the Mountaineers leads to the point.
That's a highlight reel play right there.
Absolutely. Martin to the corner. Mollison back to Rose. Watch out for Cathcart. He's open for Trey, and he's going to pull it. Little too much on that. Ojulu wants it. Mollison gets it, brings it back to Ojulu. Ojulu throws it off the leg of a Mountaineer, and it's going to go out of bounds off the Mountaineers. And that was off the leg of Jalen Bailey.
A great save in the Hawks end, and then a great save in the Mountaineers end. Both teams fighting hard on those sidelines. What a game.
And Onzo Martin subs out. CJ Bennett is in for him. Inbounds coming here as the referees have a quick little convo beforehand. As the ball's going to go for the Hawks and right into the hands of Jordan Rose.
Looks like they might have been having a conversation about where it went out. They're going to move Jordan Rose over a little bit now. Don't see a lot of that.
Not often. Into Mollison. Ojulu at the top. Bennett. Cathcart to Rose. Back to Mollison. Watch out. He's a threat. Airballs it. No good. Hustle there by Ojulu. Gets the ball back, and CJ Bennett with the athletic layup. No good, but Mollison cleans it up. And the baseball pass over to a Chenwa, but the layup's no good as Ojulu grabs the board. Cathcart's gonna take it up. Passes it. Oh, and the extra hustle again from Jordan Martin. And Bailey handling it, pulling up for the J at the top of the key, and nothing but net. The excellent save there by Jordan Martin helped to fuel that possession right there. With 10 seconds left in the quarter, 23-17. Mollison holding it.
And that fadeaway there by Jalen Bailey was looking like Michael Jordan. Unbelievable. Gets to the top of the key, turns in and fires, nails it. Really makes the save at the other end worth it.
2.6 seconds left after Mollison stumbles. And a foul is going to be charged to Mollison. He's not happy. To Trayvon Mollison, not happy about that. That's going to be the 14th foul for the Hawks. Both teams are sitting at 4 fouls each. Want to be careful before the half to not have 5 each as Gibson Ediful subs in for Daquan Cathcart.
They have both racked up a lot of fouls here in the first quarter, but that's just what happens when you play as hard as these guys have. A lot of contact. They're not giving each other any space. That's to be expected.
1.5 seconds and Ty Ehrig nearly nails the end of the quarter shot. And at the end of one, 23-17, the Hawks are leading, tightly contested by the Mohawk Mountaineers. And really the play, the saves, we've seen a lot of highlight reel plays here in this first quarter.
Oh, they've been flying into the stands. They've been flying over the sidelines. They want it.
And it's hard to beat. More OCAA men's basketball coming up. Second quarter action starting up here, 23-17 in the tightly contested game. We've seen highlight reel plays from both teams. The saves have been the name of the game so far as the Humber Hawks are going to receive first possession.
And that really was Tyrone Dixon's quarter. I mean, he was just a monster out there on both ends of the floor, gathering up rebounds, getting to the line, making shots happen. He was just one-man wrecking crew out there.
And Brian Jonker is going to receive a technical foul. Maybe talking a little bit too much smack because CJ Bennett's going to be sent to the line for the technical free throw. Not a good look there for the Mountaineers.
Especially this early in the second quarter. I mean, the game is not exactly out of reach. They're only down by 6 points, and there's a ton of game left, so you have to be more disciplined than that, especially as the coach.
Bennett misses the first. Swings it, Bennett to Edifel, back to Bennett to Rose. To Mollison, back to Edifel, to Rose. Edifel, into CJ Bennett. Oh, the hard hit, the tough foul. Bennett goes up fine, but the strong foul coming from Jalen Bailey as the two exchange a quick handshake.
Well, that's just respect out there. I mean, I don't know if I could take a shot like that and get up and shake hands. That was a big piece of contact as we look at it again here.
Oh, massive smash there from Bennett. Oh, my hip hurts looking at that one. Bennett hits the first one, 24-17 is the score. Hits the second one, 2 for 2, CJ Bennett. Bringing the ball up the court are the Mountaineers, and they're hard to beat. Jordan Martin handling the ball. Martin gets the screen on both sides, swings it out to Bailey. Bailey for Train, no good. Mollison bringing the ball up the court. Gonna pass it back to Edifel. Edifel looking, putting back to Mollison, over to Rose. He's always a threat. Gonna swing it over to Bennett, who's wide open. Chose not to go for the tray. Back to Mollison, 7 seconds left. Oh, Julu taking the ball strong to the rack and gets the foul against Erig. No foul is gonna be called.
Just so much movement there from the Hawks, swinging it from the outside to the inside, then Mollison going outside and inside to a Julu. That is just fantastic basketball. They should go right back to that. It obviously worked.
Ball and Gaffer sub in for the Mohawk. Ball, Gaffer, and Broad sub back in for the Mountaineers. Hawks playing tight defense here. Bard with the dish, but it's stuffed by Ojulu. Bringing the ball up the court is Mollison, as this is a Hawks fast break. Slows it down as Mollison, as Rose swings it to Edifel, and Gibson Edifel driving. Ojulu with the double fake and passes it back to Edifel. Mollison's open for Train. He's going to go for it. No good off the back rim. Bailey bringing the ball up the court. Oh, he gets stolen and stripped by Mollison. Mollison's going to take it up for himself. And Lamar Barr with the heads-up play to take the charge just barely above the restricted zone.
Looks good on him, though, going to the floor for his teammates. People respect that. That's how you get your teammates really to support you.
And respect you. It takes a lot to take a charge. 25-17 is the score. Hawks are leading. 8:30 left in the second quarter. Collins with the handle. Screen coming for Collins. Nowhere to go, he's getting stuck. Passes it back to Martin. Martin with the good cross against Edifel and takes it up against the rack, and Gibson Edifel can't do anything but shake his head after a solid move there by Martin.
Jordan Martin just created that shot all himself. What a dynamic play, got to the glass. That was just awesome.
Rose was wide open for the trade, chose not to go for it as he swings it to Judge and dishes it back to Edifel. Edifel with a nice clean runner, and it's in. My goodness, a voice crack because of how exciting that one was. Collins brings the ball up the court, the spin, and a one-man wrecking ball. It's Kareem Collins, a 6-footer from Hamilton.
And he's been all over the floor tonight. Him and Lamar Barr really have been carrying this team, not just scoring, but also on defense. They both look great. They're gonna have to carry that on the rest of the game.
And he's gonna be sent to the free throw line for 2 free throws. Collins is an 81.8% free throw shooter. Kareem Collins, strong player. Hits the second. Judge inbounds it to Edifel. Tyrone Dixon subs in at the pause in time. Bennett dishes it out to Rose. Over to Edifel. A runner again. formula for success is no good, but Dixon takes it, and Bennett passes it. Dixon passed it to Bennett, and Bennett, with the strong take, is going to go to the free throw line, earning himself a three-point play. There we go.
Chronologically, I think that's exactly what happened.
And that strong rebound by Dixon really helped C.J. Bennett to get to the rack.
He just took it right out of Jesse Broad's hands. I mean, what can you do? He's standing behind you, and he just overpowers and then makes that pass. Dixon's looked awesome down low today.
Dixon's got his 6th rebound of the game so far. Bennett converts on the three-point play. Pulling up for Trey is Kareem Collins, but gets nothing but air as Edifel grabs the board and pushes the envelope. The little soft bounce pass moves the ball around. The tip by the Mountaineers leads to Kareem Collins bringing the ball up the court, passing it to Barr, but Barr fumbles it. The two frustrated with the two-man play leads to the turnover. 30-21 is the score with 7:05 left in the first quarter. Substitutions are coming in for both teams.
Lamar Barr still shaking off that play. Can't believe he missed that pass. It looked like he had a wide open lane to the net, and he missed it. He just missed it. Can't let that bother you. You got to get your head back in the game. Just make sure it doesn't happen again.
Matt Elcock subs in for the Mountaineers, and for the Hawks, Kerwin Elvis. Edifel handling the ball. Judge to Elvis. Back to Edifel. Dished. Moving the ball around to the Hawks. Judge brings it back to Edifel. The screen by Dixon. Swings it out to Elvis. Elvis pulls up for the J. Nothing but air, and that's going to be a shot clock violation. The ball did not hit the rim.
Good heads-up play by Elvis to get the shot off before it went. Unfortunately, he couldn't hit iron, but still, that's paying attention.
And good defense there by the Mohawk Mountaineers. Barr gets the ball off the inbounds. Bringing up the ball up the court is Barr. And he's going to bring it all the way. Lamar Barr dishes it out to Alcock, who's open for Trey, and he hits nothing but net. Matt Alcock, be careful. He's a 42.4% three-point shooter. Dangerous from the corner.
And that's his second three already. He looks like he's ready to make those shots.
Edifel to Judge, to Elvis, back to Edifel, into Dixon, but Dixon fumbles the pass. Waiting on the call. And it's going to be out of bounds. There's a kick off of a Mountaineer play, and look at that shot there from Matt Elcock.
That's what he does. That's his specialty.
Quick pull-up there for C.J. Bennett. No good, but he crashes the boards and grabs his own rebound. Good hustle there from C.J. Bennett. Martin brings the ball all the way up the court and bullies it into the net. 32-26.
Right in front of the Hawks bench. He just silences them. Look at the looks on their faces.
Stares them down.
He lets them know that that's what he's bringing to this game.
Judge handles the ball in the corner, gets it to Dixon with the pull-up J, just off back rim, but they all crash the boards, and that's going to be tipped out by the Humber Hawks. It's going to be an over-the-back foul charge to the Hawks as Ansel Martin subs in for C.J. Bennett. 32-26 in this second quarter of the game, 5:35 left in the quarter. Bringing the ball up is Martin. He's been a threat. And a foul is going to be charged to the Hawks. A shove there leads to Broad falling to the ground. Maybe a little bit of a flop there with the big old cheesy grin on his face.
Hey, it doesn't matter if you flop if you get the call. Those are what you got to do to win. And I think that right now the Mountaineers know that before the end of this half, they want to close this gap and give themselves a good chance going into the second.
Jonathan Martin with a handle. Judge gets his hand up, but it doesn't stop the nice floater there. Gibson Edifel dishes it up to Ansel Martin, but it's intercepted by Barr.
That was unbelievable.
Great leap there from Barr, but Dixon wants to take it back. Barr fumbles it, and it's recovered by the Mountaineers.
That over-the-back pick pass, how did he see that?
Ridiculous. Martin, no good. Dixon hauls it in. That's his 7th rebound. As Gibson Edifel's going to push the envelope. He's going. He's dishing it to Elvis, to Judge. Back to Edifel. Wants to pull for Trey. Chooses not to. He's going to take the lane up. The floater. Bounce. No good. Ansel Martin overextends for the steal. Jared, oh my goodness. Swinging for the Mountaineers. Nothing there. Martin misses the easy layup. Dixon hauls it in. That's his 7th rebound in the second quarter. In the game, second of the quarter.
That was just too many cooks in the kitchen on the Mountaineers offense there. They both went up and swatted the ball too far.
Also Martin, not hot right now, fumbles it. And Matt Elcock takes a hard fall on his right knee. Gets up. That looked like a tough one.
Looks like he might have a Charlie horse there.
Something along the lines of that as the Hawks take a timeout and Ty Ehrig subs in. Looked like a hard fall right onto his knee.
Let's see, I think it was maybe contact at the thigh.
Something along the lines of that led to the fall. And through 2 quarters, 32-28, tightly contested game. What do the Mountaineers need to do to pull forward as they've been keeping it real close?
Oh, it's like I said before, they just don't want to get caught up in the fact that they're down by 4. It's nothing to lose your heads over. So if they can just keep driving to the paint, as we've seen Martin doing for them, he's had 2 awesome plays back-to-back. And there's no reason this game couldn't be tied at the end of this half. They just got to keep that focus.
And the Hawks are hoping to get wins, just like Drake. Back to back. After the timeout here, Hawks are leading 32-28.
And Brian Jonker
here.
Quarter. Brian Jonker is talking to the ref again. I think maybe he needs to slow down. He already picked up that technical early. He doesn't want to get a second and get an ejection here.
Headed to the line. It's Alcock. As the Hawks are in the as the Mountaineers are in the bonus. He nails the first one, an 87.9% free throw shooter. Matthew Elcock, a good shooter all around. Nails them both. Martin to Edifel. Back to Ansel Martin. Into the corner for the Hawks. Rotation here by the Hawks. Edifel dishes it back to Dixon, who takes the ball up strong. Wanted a foul, didn't get it. And Ty Ehrig shut Dixon down.
Absolutely unbelievable defense there by Ehrig. Not to be intimidated by Tyrone Dixon, who has just been a mammoth on the glass. He says, get out of my house with that nonsense.
After the timeout, Williams McIntosh subbed in quickly for the Hawks, as well as Daquan Gascart. Quick stoppage in play as the referees have a quick discussion. A lot of combinations of figuring out what the right calls are. And it's good on the referees for making sure each call is correct.
It's better to have a call by committee and get it right than to have one man make a wrong one. I really respect referees that can get together and make sure everything's on the straight and narrow.
Inbounds from Edifel. Over to Dixon. To Daquan Gascart. Over to Williams McIntosh, the lefty. Doesn't get the bounce, but Ansel Martin gets the board. And he gets it to Edifel, who swings it back to Gascart and dishes it over to Williams McIntosh. And into the interior where Dixon is going to bring it up. No good. But it's going to go off the hands of Lamar Barr. And again, we see the effort of Tyrone Dixon helping out the Hawks.
That's where he lives. He says, this is my house on both ends of the floor, and if you want to fight me for it, I'm going to take you out and show you what it looks like.
This is my swamp. This is my swamp.
And you're not draining this swamp.
You're not draining it. And unfortunately for the Hawks and Daquan Gascart, they cannot drain that three as the Mountaineers bring the ball up to the other side. Gaffer handles it. Interior pass to Ehrig, to Lamar Barr. He's going to pull it for Trey, but that looks like it's going to be an offensive foul on the Mountaineers. That screen was definitely not set. And inbounds play coming here for the Hawks. Edifel handles it. The solid cross gets him past. A swing to the interior for Ansel Martin with a J. Too strong, but Tyrone Dixon grabs the board and dishes it to Williams McIntosh. But Tyrone Dixon again off the rebound. Oh my goodness, if my math is correct. He's already at 9 rebounds in the second quarter alone. On his way to a double-double is Tyrone Dixon, and as well, to the free throw line.
What does that put him on pace for tonight? 40 rebounds. Look out, Andre Drummond. Tyron Dixon is taking the rebound crown.
Andre Drummond, who?
Yeah, get out of my house, Drummond.
Dixon, a 72.2% free throw shooter. The fifth year out of the fifth year out of Scarborough, Ontario. Nails them both. Inbounds by the Mountaineers. Pace has played a massive role in this game. Drive there by Martin. Nothing going, he dishes it out for the tray, and it's no good. Edifel gets the pass off of the rebound. Swings it over, and Ansel Martin cannot buy a bucket today. Even he can't get the dunk. And a foul is gonna be charged to the Hawks. And Lamar Barr seems to be a foul drawing machine.
And you know, Ansel Martin there, I think maybe his eyes were bigger than his stomach, getting a little too excited going in for that dunk. If you're not gonna make it, then just go for the easy two on the layup. There's no style points in basketball.
There are, but unfortunately he didn't get them that time. 34-30 is the score with 2:29 left in the second quarter. Lamar Barr is gonna go to the free throw line as the Mountaineers are in the bonus. Barr hits the first. Pretty entertaining to see. I don't know if you can see it, folks, but the Humber Hawk is pounding on a garbage can, trying to distract Lamar Barr. Pretty entertaining stuff right there. Lamar Barr hits it. Misses it, excuse me, as Edifel grabs the rebound, and the Hawk celebrates. Daquan Cathcart over to Williams McIntosh. Edifel drives back to Cathcart. Back and forth between Martin and Cathcart, back to Edifel. McIntosh to the interior. Oh, and the pass is fumbled by Dixon, but it's grabbed back by the Hawks. And Ansel Martin with the beautiful up and under layup.
Puts a little English on that one, and that's the difference.
Lamar Barr gets stripped from behind from Ansel Martin. And that's gonna be out of bounds, and it's gonna be the Mohawk Mountaineers. And my goodness, we wanna look at this replay again. Look at that beautiful layup. Derrick Rose-esque.
Said it once, I said it before. That Ansel, so hot right now.
Jeremy Rose subs in for Ansel Martin. Ansel may have hurt his neck, so he's going into the bench to get checked. As the Mountaineers are moving the ball around, Collins over to Elcock, who pulls it for Trey. No good, but grabs his own board. He's going to go up for himself. Passing it to nobody but the white jerseys. Oh, but the steal there for Jonathan Martin, who's going to drive it to the lane, and my goodness, a breakdown there for the Hawks when they had an easy fast break opportunity.
Great fake there by Martin, though, looking over at Ureg and looking off the defender in the process. Then he had the glass all to himself. That's how you score easy baskets.
Edifel gets the ball at the top of the key, brings it over to Rose, and in the corner, Cathcart gets it. Back to Edifel. Into Dixon, and he doesn't get the bounce, but Edifel grabs the board, brings it out to Williams McIntosh. And Edifel drives the lane and makes it look easy.
Does it all himself, picks up the offensive board, gets the ball rolling, gets it back, and lays it in. What a great play by Gibson Edifel.
52 seconds left in the first half. As Jonathan Martin handles the ball, pulls up for the J, no good. Rebound there by the Humber Hawks as Edifel brings the ball coast to coast with a glistening touch and glides in for the score. 40-33 is the score with 36 seconds left in the second quarter in the first half.
Gibson Edifel using every single inch of the backboard there. He's really looking like he's found his own here in the last few minutes.
Collins with the drive, shakes off Cathcart, but unable to finish as Cathcart grabs the board. Edifel handles it with 20 seconds left in the quarter, and he's gonna hold this ball for the final possession. Tight defense has been played by Mohawk here as the score is only 40-33. 6 seconds left. Daquan Cathcart for three. Off the backboard, no. Oh, Williams McIntosh gets it, unable to finish the easy J, but the Hawks are happy with their performance anyway. 40-33 is the scores. We're headed into halftime, and Steven, what are your thoughts?
Well, they were up by 4 at the end of the quarter, and they're up by 7 now, so obviously they've got the momentum going their way. They should keep that going into the second half, but if the Mountaineers can get their defense together, they can close that.
More action coming from the Hawks after the half.
Humber College, our career-focused programs incorporate hands-on practical experience both in and out of the classroom, allowing you to get the experience employers are looking for.
Welcome back to BRTV's live broadcast of OCAA men's basketball. The Humber Hawks facing the Mohawk Mountaineers in a tightly contested first half. Steven, we just want to do a quick run through. I mean, talking about Mohawk, we have to talk about the play of Lamar Barr, of Jordan Martin, Kareem Collins, and Matt Elcock. Their front four has been massive for them.
I think really the one that stands out the most has been Kareem Collins. He's got the 10 points on the board, and he's been all over the floor, setting guys up, playing well on defense. That's not to take anything away from Matt Elcock, who's knocked down some threes, or Lamar Barr, who has just been fast up and down the court all night, really. But, I mean, he really is the standout.
Absolutely. And for the Hawks, there's been some good play all around. We cannot go without mentioning my main man, Tyrone Dixon.
He's been insane out there, hasn't he?
Incredibly.
Every single rebound, it seems like he's got his hands on it, and they're having to pry it right out of those. I can't wait to watch Tyrone Dixon. He had, what, 9 rebounds in the second quarter alone?
9 rebounds in the first 2 quarters alone, nearly nearing a double-double before the first half ended. Strong performance from him. So, going key-wise, we got to channel our inner DJ Khaled. What's a major key for the Hawks? And what's a major key for the Mohawks?
I think that for the Hawks right now, they just need to continue to get the type of production they've had all season out of guys like Ediful, Ansel Martin, Tyrone Dixon, like we said. And if that continues, there's no reason to think that they can't protect this lead. Looking at Mohawk, though, I mean, it's a lot of the same thing. Guys like Kareem Collins, if he can continue the production that he's had so far, that could be something that puts them right back into this game and really gives them a chance to win. They're only 7 back at the end of the half.
And a tightly contested game between 2 powerhouses. Humber ranked 3rd, and the Mountaineers ranked 5th. This could be an important game for both teams, as the Hawks are going to try their best to pull away from this one. Leading by 7, possessions of the game is going to start soon, as the crowd favorites. Bobby Schmurda plays in the background. Possession of the ball is going to go to the Mountaineers, as Alcock's going to inbound the ball. Kareem Collins receiving. Backdoor cuts all around by the Mountaineers. Alcock receives it. Over to Barr. Barr with the turnaround J. It's nothing but net. 40-35 to score. Ediful bringing the ball up the court. Over to Judge. To Bennett in the corner. Wanted to pull it, chose not to. Ediful swinging it back to Bennett, and he's going to try this time, and he's going to get it. CJ Bennett making it look easy. 15 points for CJ Bennett. And the pass by the Mountaineers flies out of bounds, and that's going to be Hawks' possession.
And this is already a fast tempo second half, a lot like we saw in the first. I don't know if they're going to be able to keep this up. I mean, I'd be tired already, but the intensity level doesn't look like it's coming down anytime soon.
There's a reason we're in the booth and they're on the court.
There might be. I hadn't considered that maybe there was some kind of defining feature, but looking out at the athleticism, that might be it.
Might be it. Hawks rotate the ball well as Ediful holds it at the top of the key. Gets over to Judge, he pulls it for Trey. And rolling it in. Hawks starting off the half with back-to-back threes. Lamar Barr bringing the ball up the court. Screen there for Barr. He's going to take it himself. Going to get blocked by Dixon. And it's going to be a foul charged to Dixon. Dixon not happy with that call. want to give a big shout out to our in-house announcer, Jacob, with a wonderful call for ball judge.
And ball judge, let's take a look at this three. Has been so reliable from beyond the arc. He steps up, he knocks it down, and nobody's surprised on the court. That's just what ball judge does.
Ball judge has hit a lot of threes this year. He averages 2.2 threes per game. Not bad for himself. Lamar Barr to the free throw line. Barr's dangerous from here, 82.6%. Hits him. 46-37 is the score. That Humber lead is getting cut down from 10. Bennett gets the ball in the corner, fakes the pass. Wanted to pull for a tray, chose not to. As Edifel drives the lane, gets it to Judge. Over to Ansel Martin. The drive by Martin rolls up and out. Edifel went for the steal, but no good as Elcock brings the ball up.
What a great pass there by Elcock to spread the floor, and that's why Barr's left open on that shot.
Barr no good for the three. Bennett falls over, but Ansel Martin's got the handle. Edifel for three. Yes!
First Judge, now Edifel. Everybody's getting in on the three-point action. They have stretched their offense wide open on the Mountaineers.
Can't forget Bennett as well, as the hustle from Jordan Martin, goes unrewarded as his hustle leads to no avail. Ball goes out of bounds, and it's going to be Humber possession. And the Hawks coming out of the half, hitting 3 threes.
Well, and that's what takes this from a 7-point game to now a 12-point game. They just won't be denied once they step out there. They're so confident from beyond the arc.
Judge to the interior, passed it to Dixon, but it was lost on the pass. And going up for the layup, it's Kareem Collins.
And Kareem Collins really has just put that speed out there tonight. He's so quick up the floor. Nobody can keep up with him, with or without the ball. He's going to break away.
Cathcart's going to sub in for Judge, and Kareem Collins earlier on the prior possession led to the ball being tipped out of bounds. Collins, an 81.8% free throw shooter, averages 13 points per game, and he's already at 10 for the game.
Oh, it's looking like he's going to exceed that season average. He's just been awesome tonight, and he really has taken over the game. Guys like Matt Elcock, who they normally rely on, I mean, he's been making his shots, but they haven't been giving him a lot of opportunities from beyond the three, and that's really opened up chances for Collins.
Ball goes out of bounds off the hands of Dixon, and that's going to be possession back to the Mohawk Mountaineers. And inbound possession successful for the Mohawk Mountaineers, but no finish at the lane there for Broad. As the Hawks move the ball up the court quickly. Ansel Martin to Edifel for Trey. Yes, again, back-to-back Trey. Edifel was channeling his inner DJ Khaled as he says, you want a three? Another one.
Another one. All he does is win, 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 no matter what.
No matter what. Barr with a fancy footwork, going nowhere, going off the back of Broad and over to Elcock. Elcock nearly getting double teamed. They know he's a threat out there. Kareem Collins. Good. Daquan Cathcart into Edifel.
And it's Kareem Collins again creating offensive opportunities for himself. He just looks great.
CJ Bennett wanted to pull it, chose not to. Dished it to Cathcart for Trey, and that is 5 threes for the Humber Hawks right out of the half. Hard to beat as Collins loses a pass off of a steal. It's going to go to Edifel, who's going to go up to the layup. Hard hit to the deck, but it's brought in by CJ Bennett off the bring back slam, and a timeout's going to be called by the Mohawk Mountaineers. Hard to beat this high-powered offense of the Hawks.
And that drive by Gibson Edifel is the first time they've even tried to get into the paint this half. Unbelievable game they've put together so far.
And 3-point barrage array from the Hawks. You have Bennett with 1, Judge with 1, Edifel with 2, and Cathcart getting in there.
Well, I mean, it's just a showcase of depth.
It is, and as Ray Schremer is saying that this team is a real crowd pleaser.
Well, when you have 5 guys that can step up from that far out and just knock down shots, make it look that routine, how are you supposed to defend something like that? When they swing the ball out, what are you supposed to do? there's really nothing the Mountaineers can do. They've got to try to slow this offense down now before things really get out of hand.
As you can see, Brian Jonker discussing with his squad, trying to figure out what they can do differently to shut down the Hawks offense, as it's been hard to beat in the past 4 minutes.
We're only halfway through this third quarter, and this 7-point lead that the Hawks walked into this half with has now ballooned to a 17-point lead. So Mohawk can't get too rattled. They can't get too off their game plan. They just got to go out, get some stops, make some shots, and get back into this.
Inbounds possession for Kareem Collins. Screen coming from Elcock. Swings the ball over back to Elcock for Trey. Nothing.
What a great anticipation play, though, by Kareem Collins. Seeing Elcock was going to be there before he even got there. The timing of that pass was awesome.
Bennett with the ball in the corner. Back to Ediful at the top of the key. Who's going to drive, uses speed, but he's tipped. Ball's tipped out of his hands. It's going to go off the hands of Lamar Barr, and it's going to stay Hawks possession. Hard to beat the speed of Gibson Ediful as he got to the dish real quick.
This game has just been built on speed all afternoon, really. Even seeing guys from both teams get it done.
Speaking of Ediful, he comes back and hits the third tray of this quarter. My goodness, Gibson Ediful said, you know, I was a little bit quiet in the first, so let me turn it up in this quarter. And the shot there, no good for Collins. Oh, Daquan Gascard passed the ball a little bit too far, and the two teammates exchanged a handshake and a smile as they knew it was too far ahead.
Gibson Ediful says, I'm making deep threes from everywhere, and you can't hit me with that pass. Come on, man, get your head in the game.
Substitutions coming in for the Hawks, as well as the Mountaineers. Ojulu subs in for the Hawks and for the Mountaineers.
Ojulu going to bring some more presence on the defensive side of the ball. It's good for them, too, because with Urig coming in, they need that matchup.
And no good on the layup there for Martin. Rotating the ball to the Hawks. Ball movement has been key for them, but Martin says no, he's going to take it. He's going to bring the ball up the court, and he's going to pull it for a J. Nothing good, though. As Ojulu rebounds it and dishes it up to Ediful, who brings it back to Bennett, fumbles it a little bit, and gets it up for the score.
And Bennett with the ball there, just such a mismatch on Elcock. What's he supposed to do when that guy's inside on the lane? Just stands there and watches Bennett finish up.
62-40 is the score. Hawks are up by 22 as a tray is pulled, and it's no good. Martin swings it all the way up to Cascard, who's there, but he oops it up for Gibson Ediful. Did I mention Gibson Ediful has 19 points?
He walked into this half with, I think, 4?
Something along the lines of that. Went from 15 to 17 to 19 real quick. Martin with the solid pass to the interior, but it's stolen by Ansel Martin. Ediful for 3. That's his first miss from the three-point line.
He is human.
He is not Steph Curry. Oh, and a strip from behind by Ansel Martin leads to the Hawks regaining the possession here. CJ Bennett handles it, moves it, and gets the bump. Ihrig going to be called for that foul. CJ Bennett can do nothing but smile. His play so far has been nothing but solid. He's got 18 points already.
Well, the production out of those two, I mean, I know that our listeners are probably sick and tired of hearing it, but Gibson Ediful and CJ Bennett have carried this team 37 combined points, and they really look like a duo that cannot be stopped, won't be stopped.
Substitutions coming on for the Mountaineers as Bailey subs in. Bennett misses the first one. He does not get the Bennett fit of the doubt. That one was a little forced. Second one's no good either. And a call is going to be made against Ojulu as Mollison subs in for CJ Bennett.
And it looks like they pulled Gibson Ediful out of the game. I guess that's a safe move. A guy like that hot really could melt the floor.
Liquid hot magma.
Liquid hot magma.
As Jordan Martin gets the call. Excuse me, Mohamed Gaffer gets the call. And it's going to stay on the ground. Hawks do have 14 fouls. Might want to be careful there.
That's what happens when you play as aggressively as they have offensively and defensively. You're going to take some fouls.
Martin with the solid wraparound pass, but it goes right into the hands of Mollison, who gets it to Cathcart. Over to Rose. Over to Ansel Martin, who's going to drive to the lane. No good, but he's going to get it to Mollison for Trey. And it's off the back rim. Ojulu hustles and tips it right into the hands of Mollison as the Hawks reset here. Ooh, near steal there. Rotated it over to Ansel Martin, who's going to pull up for the J. Nothing but back rim. Seems like these Hawks are, in fact, human or cooling down as Lamar Barr charges. Almost gets the fancy scoop up and in layup.
Well, like you were saying, I think those Hawks maybe got a little bit too comfortable knocking down all those threes, and it's just not realistic to think they could keep that pace up. So it does seem like it's time to go back inside to where they have those high percentage shots and pick up some points.
Ansel Martin subs out, and Andre Roshi subs in.
Master Roshi.
Master Roshi, something like that. At the line is Lamar Barr, excuse me. Lamar Barr has had a pretty good game of himself. He's got 10 points and has really been the glue guy for the Mountaineers.
Oh, he finds people. He snatches up those loose balls on offense and defense. He really is an excellent player out there, and he's shown it tonight.
Nails the first one. Cathcart gets it over to Rose, to Ojulu in the middle of the court. Roshi dishes it to the interior for Ojulu. No good, but it goes off the hands of Martin, and it's going to stay Hawks' possession.
And they got away with one there, a careless pass across the middle, but it doesn't look like they are going to have to pay for it. All they've lost really is time off the shot clock.
Roshi, Cathcart. Gives it to Mollison. Gonna get the screen from Ojulu. He's gonna bring it back to Cathcart for Trey. Nothing going.